I chose to live a very frugal lifestyle. I only drink tap water, I track every single cent I gain or spend, I walk around at night with my lights off, I spend too much time looking for the best deal on toe socks, and I couldn't care less about labels or looking my best all the time. You're probably thinking that I'm depriving myself or that I'm a cheapskate. But there is a huge gap between being cheap and being frugal. Being frugal is about making intentional choices with my money and resources, prioritizing needs over wants, finding ways to save while still caring for life quality. To not splurge to flex, to fake something I'm not, to not care about society's approval on a topic that most likely is just another marketing scam. And most of all, it's about being honest and respectful with myself and with my time. So in this video, I'm sharing what I consider to be important and not to spend money on as a frugal person. But first, here are the reasons why it all started. How I was raised. From a very young age, my dad taught me the relationship between hard work and rewards. I remember being little and wanting desperately to have this special car that gave me permission to leave the school premises during lunch to be able to eat with my friends outside. The deal was that I had to reach 1,000 points to get it. I remember feeling how absurd 1,000 points sounded, but I was never the person to say no to a challenge. So I got 1 point for making my bed, 1 for putting the table, 1 for cleaning my room, 2 for cleaning the car, 3 from getting A's at school. And as you can imagine, it took me a while to get to 1,000. But I also remember the feeling of the satisfaction of achieving something with my own efforts at such a young age. Going to the supermarket with my parents and understanding how they save money turned me into a little 6-year-old girl looking for the fuller juices to bring home because those were obviously a better deal. And just like that, saving money became a game and fun. And even though my eye level is no longer looking at the fuller juices at the supermarket, I still enjoy the feeling of saving a bit everywhere and looking for the best deals as an adult. Simple lifestyle. Another reason is that I don't want to live life on hard mode. I much prefer to not have the need to be productive all the time, to keep up with trends that don't mean anything to me. The best things in life are not things at all, and they usually don't come with price tags. If I don't have an expensive cost of living, I don't need to work more hours. If I don't need to work more, I have more free time. If I have more free time, I can allocate more time to the things that matter to me and to the people I care about. So I can afford to work to live, not live to work. Aim for wealth, not status. Status is what you see, the size of your home, the car you drive, the label on your clothes. But most people don't have enough money to support themselves for 1 month in the absence of work. Wealth, on the other hand, is what you don't see, having a safety net, an emergency fund, and investing in your savings. In a nutshell, is to not live paycheck to paycheck, to be able to live a financial independent life. I totally agree that money doesn't bring you happiness, but it sure brings you peace of mind. The environment. I always try my best to go for sustainable choices, using things until they are unusable, and fixing instead of buying new, which allows me to save a lot of money but also reduce my footprint. There are enough clothes on the planet to dress the whole world for the next 100 years. Yet, approximately 150 million items of clothes are produced every day. This is just insane. Companies spend millions promising that if we spend money on X, we will be more attractive, younger, richer, and more successful. And this is just an illusion. The moment we get it, we automatically start thinking about the next new shiny thing because someone somewhere is making the new improved version. And honestly, consumerism sucks. Buying less helps me save money, space, and reduces clutter. Clutter is like an annoying roommate that doesn't pay rent in your home, and no one wants that. I would rather invest in fewer but quality pieces that bring me joy and will last me for a long time. How I save money. Now let me share some of my favorite frugal tips with you. Every Sunday, I look at what's still left on my pantry and I plan all my meals for the week. I create a grocery list and I strictly stick to it, unless of course there's something on sale that I consume regularly and that doesn't go bad. I always check for discounts to see on which supermarket I'm shopping that week. I bring my own bags, I shop for local products, and I don't really care about brands because 99% of the time they all taste the same. I allow myself a maximum of 1 meal out a week because that's something that brings me joy, but the rest, all my meals are homemade and I never order in. I usually stay below 40 euros a week on groceries for all my meals. I've been asked before how the hell I managed to do that, but I never really asked you if you want a meal prep / grocery saving tips video to also be able to do this. So if this is something that interests you, go ahead and leave a comment below asking for supermarket tips and I will gladly make a video about it. Saving on the small stuff like groceries or making coffee at home is important because it adds up. But the biggest expenses are the ones that have a big impact in your savings. And housing, car, and insurances are usually our biggest money consumer. Although I love the feeling of driving a car, I live in a relatively small city with a transport system, so I decided to sell my car 4 years ago and I haven't regretted since. I also keep a close track on when my contracts end, and a few months earlier I look for better market options on things like insurances, subscriptions, internet and phone bills. And if there is another company that will provide me a better deal, I absolutely have no problem in changing or just cancelling a subscription or a contract. I turn the lights off when I'm not in a room, I unplug everything when I'm not using it, and I recently got into the habit of turning the Wi-Fi off when I leave the house or at night. I heard that there are negative effects of the Wi-Fi waves in your brain, and even though I don't think there is enough information nowadays to prove that this is actually a problem, my wallet appreciates a reduced energy cost at the end of the month. I also try my best to have short showers and use cold water on the last minutes. I hang my clothes to dry instead of using a dryer machine, and because of this, I also don't feel the need to iron them. And I also use my dishwasher machine instead of hand washing as much as possible. If the weather is nice, which is almost always the case because I live in Portugal, I either walk if it takes me less than 40 minutes or bike if it takes me around 20 minutes. For longer distance, I take the subway, and in rare occasions, I use a car sharing service. And this saves me money on transportation and not getting white hairs due to traffic, but I also feel this is an investment on my health with a free cardio session, which hopefully will allow me to save money later on in life on medication and health-related matters. Like I mentioned before, I track every single cent I spend and gain. At the end of the month, I sit down with my budget and analyze how I did. If we're not aware how much we are spending, it's impossible to be able to save. I track my expenses on a complete detailed Notion template I created. I have a whole video talking about it with a free budget template, so I'll also add it to the description for you to check it out later. A trick I learned recently is that most pharmacies have pet medication, and it's usually cheaper than the ones at the vet. And because I have a pharmacy card, that allows me to have occasional discounts on mine and Fiona's medication. I only shop when I need to, never for fun, never when I'm bored. And when I do, it's 90% of the time secondhand. I always try charity shops and secondhand online platforms first, and in some very specific cases I buy brand new if there's something special about a particular brand, whether it is for the use of natural fabrics or their social and environmental impact. And I always do a background check so I'm not a victim of greenwashing. If you consider yourself a frugal person, let me know what are your tips and tricks to save money. But like I mentioned, frugality is not about being coupon obsessed, it's about intentionality. There are topics that I spend money on that will maybe sound weird now, given everything I just said, but here it goes. If there is a healthier food option, even if it's more expensive, I will not think twice about getting it. I usually have no problem in investing on self-development, gaining useful skills, or doing courses, because that will only contribute to my character, confidence, and independency. And that's one of the best investments you can do because no matter what happens, it's something that no one will ever be able to take away from you. I also spend money on traveling, and even though I always look for the best deals, I don't want to deprive myself from getting to know and experience as much as possible of what's outside of my little bubble. And that contributes to my personal growth and mental health. And speaking of it, I also don't count cents when it comes to mental health. I really believe that the world would be a much better place if therapy was much more affordable for everyone, but it is what it is. I find it expensive, but it's an essential tool for life, and as long as I'm able to afford it, I will do it whenever I feel the need to. I'm currently at the end of a no-buy-year challenge, and it has been a transformative experience. If you want to reduce your expenses but don't know where to start, or you don't want to commit to a full year for now, I challenge you to do a no-buy month, where you don't buy any non-essential thing for 30 days. If you like this video, I have a no-spend calendar for just a symbolic price to help you to save money and to help me keep this YouTube channel alive and growing. If you don't want to spend money, but you still want to support me, don't worry, I totally get it. You can always give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, which is free and a huge help. I'll link my donation page down below if you want to buy me a coffee, so make sure to check it out because there is also free content there about how to pursue a more meaningful life. I hope you like this video, and as always, until next time, remember to stay kind to yourself and to others, and I will see you on the next video. Bye everyone!